Seattle with Ruggles wide open.
Good left by Hagler.
And they brawl in the center of the ring.
He's going to place it in trouble.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Muhammad Ali gamely fights back.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
We're here with Dannon Green. Dannon, how the hell are you, man?
Phil, what's going on, baby? I am doing. Actually, man, it's good to see you. I'm doing great, man. I'm doing.
Well, I want to hear
great.
about it, man. That's great. I mean, you deserve it. If anybody deserves it, man, you're like, even though I haven't seen you in like 20 years, man. If they put like a lineup of my like some of my favorite people,
Right?
You're on there, man.
I appreciate that,
I ain't
man.
just saying that shit because you're sitting there, man.
Yeah.
And you know, this is a dog-eat-dog town, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's fucking sad, man.
Yeah. But you've been able to survive, man. You've been able to survive a long time.
We
like
got
it's
it,
over
man.
20-something years since I know you. Shoot, you had that gym on La Brea
Best
in
gym in
Wilshire.
the world, man.
Yep. And that was back in the. I would say I met you. I was dating a girl, so that would be 94, 95 for me.
94.
Yep.
95. 25 years ago.
Yeah, when I met you. Yep.
Over there.
Yeah. And you know how I met you, right?
How'd you meet me?
Okay. What a lot of people don't remember, and people that don't know me, but people that do remember, I used to work with Federal Express. And
I remember that.
And I delivered to your gym
Wow,
and those buildings around it.
yeah,
And I was like,
I remember.
Shit. Remember, I used to work out during my lunch break right there. On my lunch break. Yeah.
Did you ever pay me?
You know what, Phil? I paid you the first couple months, and then I kind of got in with you. Then you never said nothing. You know what I mean? So it was
See,
cool.
that's what we talked about the last show, man. I said, that's my problem, man. That's why, like, I struggle.
You can't be friends with everybody, Phil. But you picked the right one with me, because if not, I wouldn't have been able to be at your gym.
No, I think Pierre was there for a few years. I don't think I ever got I don't even think I got a cup of coffee from him, man.
Yeah, and you let him use your office space upstairs. For production of his movie, For the Love of Money, which was actually, you don't understand. That movie has some of the, I won't say the biggest stars, but some very good stars in it right now. That are, myself, Affion Crockett. There's a scene I don't know if you remember the movie, but there's a scene where we're in the office, the doctor's office, because I'm supposed to have had gonorrhea or something like that. So me and Pierre are doing the scene.
Was that true though?
No. It was just acting. No, I never got burnt. Thank God. But in that scene, you had Honest John, who was a well-known comedian, Affion Crockett, Joey Wells, who's now big with Kevin Hart, and Bo Peep were all in that. It was like when I saw, I was like, you got to be kidding me. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Christian Kyber is in that too, and he's my writing partner. We've written a couple of scripts together that got optioned, and he's in New York. He's doing really well too.
Okay.
He's I think the only scene I seen, he was in a cop. He was one of the cops. He was a white cop.
Okay.
Sitting like in the passenger side, and the black guy was the driver.
Right.
And he was offering him some crackers.
Oh.
You want hey, crackers? And he kind of got upset because he thought he called him a cracker.
I got to go back and see that movie. But that's what your gym offered, man. Your gym offered a lot of opportunities for people to come and have fun.
Yeah.
I boxed it for a little bit and kept, that's when I was actually thinking about getting back into boxing heavily. You know what I mean? But if I wasn't in the entertainment, because people sleep on me, they didn't know I could really go. You know what I mean? But I
now if we could relive that all over and what I know now and how I act sometimes now, because now it's like, if I see opportunities, you can't sit on that shit. You got to just do it,
you
man.
Gotta
right?
Do it,
And if I was the way I am now, and especially with social media now,
right? Oh,
because I would just say to you, okay, we're going after every comedian out there.
Right.
We're gonna call every one of them out. That's it. We're gonna start there, and that's
especially
it, man.
at that time when I was in shape, I could hold it.
Well, nowadays you can still do it, man, because
I got
Tyson's 54.
Right,
Tyson's 54. Roy Jones is 51.
Yeah.
Holyfield's hitting the bags, getting ready for a fight.
Wait, I think it's great because I don't.
They even showed George Foreman, man, hitting the bag. George Foreman.
How old is he now? He got to be almost 70.
He's in the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah.
But George would, like, the bell would ring, he'd stay there. You never lose your jab.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know, but you got to understand, he'll be fighting another 60-year-old.
Yeah.
So he's not, you know, fighting some killer.
Oh, I like to see the corner in that one. Rubs the back, gave him a back. My ankle hurt.
No, who would be a good opponent for Foreman right now that you would watch? Because nowadays it's like,
okay, so
it's a Saturday night. What are we doing?
Right.
Let's watch fucking George Foreman fight.
You know what would have been a good fight?
Donald Trump.
I don't know if he's
or
still
something.
alive though. But Foreman against Tex Cobb.
Yeah.
Randall Tex Cobb. Didn't he die? Did Tex Cobb die?
I hope not. We'll try to put that fight together.
Yeah, that'd be, you know, because Tex Cobb was a banger. You know what I mean? But
and
just,
he was a good actor, comedian.
great actor. That's what I'm saying. He was, you know, someone that you kind of seen throughout the years in films.
The only thing bad about Tex Cobb is the public don't know him as much as George Foreman. So I don't think I'm thinking like a promoter now. That's hard to sell.
Okay.
Even the fight fans nowadays, they don't know those old timers.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, not talking bad about these guys, but when I did that gym with Sam Watson, you remember the one in Lake Balboa? We had the beautiful, beautiful gym. Me and Sam, we were the owners of it.
Right.
But we had somebody else's money.
The one up in Balboa?
Balboa.
Yeah, I went there. That's where, you know, it's funny. Not to get off subject, but that's where, and we'll talk about it, but that's where I interviewed Mark Breland at.
At that gym?
Yeah.
The one on the corner.
Yeah, up on the corner, the massage parlor right next to it.
Yeah, the massage parlor left. I think Buddy McGirt has a gym there now.
Yeah, Buddy, yeah.
But that was my gym. I did that, and unfortunately, I didn't protect myself. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, it's all good.
But it was doomed.
Yeah, it was nice. You had some nice murals on the wall.
It was doomed. No, I would have all this on the walls, and they didn't like that.
Right.
I'm going, wait a minute.
Yeah.
See, I didn't give myself creative control 100%. Or
well, I never knew that. You know, not get into it. I just never knew. I thought a gym was a gym. I didn't know we had, creative control and stuff. Oh, no, only in California. Baby.
No, yeah. Well, no, you need. There's got to be a gym owner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, you know, that calls the shots. And that was supposed to be me. But when you're dealing with other, too many cooks
entities,
in the, whatever you call it. So I remember putting up these beautiful pictures, right? Mm-hmm. Beautiful, man. I had, you know, Pernell Whitaker, Trinidad, Hector Camacho.
Just all the greats.
Going to Ray Robinson, Henry Armstrong, Jack Dempsey, all these guys I had up on the wall, beautiful, right? And I would get, like, who are these guys? You got to put the new guys up that are fighting now. Yeah. They were there. We still had them. I wasn't finished, but they didn't like that. That was coming from some people that were involved there. And I'm going, the people nowadays you want me to put up there, but do you realize the people nowadays, this is their idols.
Right, exactly.
This is who they were looking up to.
Right.
You know, Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, and it just showed that their ignorance on the game. They didn't even know who they were.
It's man, that's just part of life, man. The ignorance of people not knowing the history of from from sports to boxing to what to you know.
Whoever's got the money, everybody gravitates to the person with the money.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of the story of my life and a lot of business ventures I did. But you know, like anything, man, you know, you want something done, you got to do it yourself.
You got to do yourself.
Never, the biggest advice I could almost give somebody in this town, never put your life on hold for somebody else, waiting on somebody else that says he's going to do something for you.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I had a saying when I first came out. Before I moved to L.A., I met this comedian named Rich Scheidner. I don't know if you remember him, white comedian. He played in the movie Roxanne before with Steve Martin.
Big nose.
Right. So he was the guy that was giving Steve Martin all the trouble with the tennis racket and all that. Anyway, I met him at a comedy club about 1990 in Columbus, Ohio. And I was just starting comedy, and he was like, he asked me, he said, how old are you? It was 91, 92. And I said, I'm 26. He goes, you should move to L.A. Like that, right? And I said, why you say that? And he goes, well, you seem mature enough that you're not going to get caught up in the lights. That's what he said to me. That's the first thing. And then he was giving me a little insight, and he said, whatever you do, when you come to the town, you call people at least 1 or 2 times. After that, you don't call them. So I have a saying now, I kind of added to it, that I do 2 and 2 now. I text you twice, I call you twice. If I don't hear from you and it doesn't seem like the conversation is going anywhere, I just keep it pushing. So that's kind of my new thing. You know, I've been doing that for the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's the smartest thing you could do, man.
Yeah. But a lot's been going on, man. Since we talked, I produced a boxing documentary that I'm going to send you today. So hopefully you'll be able to take a look at it.
Boxing documentary. Okay.
I did a full feature film.
Yeah, that's great. I'm waiting to hear who it's on.
Well,
what's the subject?
Well, the subject is, there used to be a gym out of Philadelphia called the Philadelphia Executioners. And I used to box out of that gym. It was created by Marvin Tucci Gordon and Frank Taylor. Frank Taylor is still alive. Marvin Tucci Gordon died a number of years ago. But anyway, the story is about these two men who started this gym to get the boys off the street in West Philadelphia, back in the mid-'70s.
Yeah.
And they wound up creating one of the greatest amateur gyms ever. We had a record of 639 wins and 84 losses over 10 years. We had 6 guys invited to the Olympic trials, over 76 to 84. And we had 1 world champion, Gary Hinton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So...
I thought he fought from Emmanuel Stewart.
No, Gary Hinton fought out the Executioners, and he's the one that went the distance. He was one of the few guys to go the distance and lose a split decision to Aaron Pryor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So what happened was about 3 years ago, I went back to the East Coast to do a show in Philadelphia. So I used to box for the gym at that time. So one of my teammates came to my show, and we got to talk. And I said, hey, I hadn't seen him in a while. Hey, Lydell, what's happening? Blah, blah, blah. We getting talking. And I asked him, I said, hey, is Frank still alive? And he said, oh, yeah, Frank is doing well, because I had thought Frank had passed. And I said, wow. So you got the number on him? So I found the number on him. So that was in August of 2017. So I waited till I got back to L.A., and then October of 2017, I called him. And I said, hey, Frank, how you doing? And I said, no, I'm sorry. I said, yes, is Frank Taylor there? And he goes, yes, this is Frank Taylor. Who's this? And I said, this is Dannon Green. I used to box for you when I was a kid. So he goes, and you'll really appreciate this. He goes, Dannon Green. He goes, Dannon Green, Southpaw. No, he said, Dannon Green, Felton Street, Southpaw, good fighter. Yeah, I remember you. And I almost cried, man, because... you got to remember that this is 81, 82. You know what I mean? And this man was able to remember me. And so...
selective memory, it's called, man.
I don't know. I mean, but old coaches and people like that have that type of memory. You can remember certain...
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Because I can't remember a lot of stuff, but I'll remember you.
Right. So what happened, Phil, was I said, hey, how you doing? So we talked for about 30 minutes. And then... we talked. He was telling me about his, what was going on in his life, and then we hung up. So then one day in November, this is a true story, man. I was laying in bed, and I said, somebody's got to tell this story. And I said, because when this man dies,
it's over, maybe.
The whole history goes to it.
Yeah.
So I called him up, and I'm going to tell you why I did that. I said, Frank, I want to know if I could do a story on the Executioners. I'd like to do a documentary on you guys. And he goes, and it's funny, he goes, Dannon, he goes, man, I always felt there was a story here. I just didn't know how and you got to understand. See, we're in Hollywood. So we understand how to get stuff out. You know what I mean? If you got an idea for something, you can call cameraman people and you can start shooting. A lot of people in the inner cities and in the hood,
they don't know how to do
it. They're not even thinking of it. They know something's there, but it's like, it's an ideal, then it goes out the window because they don't know how to put it together. So I said, Frank, I'd like to do this story. And he said, man, I always felt there was a story there, but I just didn't know how to get it out. So I said, okay. So I found I had about 4 or 5. I had been doing really well commercially before the pandemic. I mean, I had some good years. So I had some papers saved up. And then I met a dude from the Bay Area, and I said, hey, man, I got an idea for a project. We put our money together. But what's significant about this gym is when people hear of the Executioners out of Philly, who do you think of?
Bernard Hopkins?
Exactly. But we beat Bernard in the amateurs twice.
That's good.
My boy beat Bernard. But Bernard took the colors.
With Joe Frazier?
No.
It's Philly, you said,
yeah,
right?
But Bernard wasn't with Frazier. He was with the Together Brothers. When Bernard got really involved.
No. I just thought you said, who do you think about?
You said you think Philly, about Joe Frazier, right? Okay.
Philly fighters.
But when I'm saying Executioners, you think of.
Oh, because of his nickname.
Exactly.
Yeah. I got you.
He took it from our gym, and and the colors and everything, black and red and all that stuff, the X, all of that.
Oh, okay.
So that's not the significance of the documentary, but I felt like the story had to be told. So I was able to one of the East Coast big referees right now. His name is Sean Clark on the East Coast. He used to box out of a gym. He's the original executioner. So I called Sean. I said, Sean, man, I got in touch on social media, which is good.
All right, so all you guys, whoever trained there, you were all executioners.
Yeah, but it was a certain group. It was a certain dudes.
The ones who got up to that level or something.
Well, as amateurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did was I got in touch with about eight. I did about 9 interviews, and then one interview out of prison. We had Vaughn Hooks, who was 94-7 as an amateur, and he lost. He was number 2 in the country, and he lost 4 fights. And guess who one of his fights was? Which he really won. He felt he won, but they gave it to him.
Well,
Tony Ayala.
Oh, Tony Ayala.
Back in the day.
Wow.
So we had some excellent fighters. So anyway, I tell the story about this gym. Now, what's crazy about it is this documentary is the first documentary of its kind in terms of boxing. This is the first documentary, and you can look it up on YouTube anywhere, ever done about a gym. Most boxing documentaries have all been about a fight or an individual fighter. This is the first story.
That's good.
This is
there was
story.
A guy that showed me a trailer, a boxer guy from Chicago, and it's about a gym, but it didn't get picked up, or it's just a trailer. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'm going to send you everything today.
I want to see it. Yeah.
I got the trailer. My thing is all done.
It's all done?
It's completed. So
I'm
trying to get a deal.
How long is it?
It's a movie, hour and 35 minutes.
What's a documentary?
It's a documentary.
Okay.
So I've already been accepted.
15?
Hour and 30.
Hour and 30.
I've already got accepted into 5 film festivals. I won an award for one. And the last film festival I got accepted in, but before the pandemic, was the New York Film Festival.
Who directed it?
Who you sitting across from?
Okay. No, you said you produced it. You didn't say directed, did you?
No.
All right.
Who wrote it? The guy you're sitting across from.
Okay, good. No,
Who directed it? The guy you're sitting. I did the whole thing.
That's absolutely great.
Yeah, I narrated it, and I tried to get David Keith for you people that know acting. I wanted to go with David Keith, the guy, the brother with the deep voice.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah.
But his people never got back, and
it's better you did it, man.
Yeah, but it's an excellent documentary, and I just man, when you say it, you're gonna be like, "Fuck out here, you ain't do this." But I'm telling you, man.
So what's the title?
It's called The Executioners. We All Had a Chance.
We all had a chance.
Yeah, because it's a story about these fighters who, they were one of the dudes. I'll tell you 2 stories. One of the guys, name is Mike Wells. Mike Wells was a 147-pounder. In 1983, he was ranked number 5 in the country. Guess who was ranked number 2? Mark Breland.
Okay.
People felt that the only person that would be able to beat Breland in the trials.
Who was number 1?
The boy out of St. Louis.
Welterweight?
Yeah. Oh man, he's on my social media page, man. And he
was ahead of Mark Breland?
He was ahead of Mark Breland.
Mark Breland had the best amateur record at least
Mark Breland was 101-1 as an amateur and 160-1 counting smoker fights. Mark Breland's in my documentary.
Yeah. Smoker fights.
Yeah.
That's what I had, a whole bunch of them. Oh.
Mark Breland's in my documentary. So
that's good.
Yeah, so
was he training
he was training Deontay Wilder.
Wilder at the time, right?
Yeah. And mad shout out to Mark Breland. Man, didn't charge me, didn't say nothing. I said, Mark, man, because Mark loves comedy. What a lot of people don't know is Mark Breland loves comedy. Because he's been an actor and all that. And I saw Breland, I said, Breland, man, I would love for you to get, see if I can interview for my documentary. And he said, Mark, no problem, man. And Mark gave me a 40-minute interview.
Yeah.
But what's significant about his story with my buddy Mike Wells was 6'2.5". He was 46-5 as an amateur. And I mean, a pistol for a jab. And the people felt that if there was anybody that would be able to beat Breland was going to be Mike. Out of all of the dudes that was in the top, 8 dudes that would have went to the trials. And Mike got invited to the trials, the 84 Olympic trials. And but he had started going to church before the trials, like maybe a month, two, whatever, a couple years. And right before the trials and everything, man, he quit boxing. And it's a now some of us would say, was he scared to fight? Which is no. But then some of us would say, is it a fad? And
so he could have fought Breland, right?
He would have fought. He would have been. He probably would have fought
had to
Breland.
fight him in the finals.
Yeah,
of the
in the
trials.
Yeah. And let me tell you, when you see the documentary, you're gonna see him he's in the doc, and I've show footage of him fighting. And
does he regret it?
He goes, here's the crazy. He's the one that beat Breland, beat Bernard Hopkins twice in the amateurs. He stopped Bernard twice. So actually,
he stopped Bernard.
He stopped Bernard. He actually beat Bernard before Bernard went to prison. Because, Bernard was fighting a little bit, then he went to jail for 5 years.
Bernard didn't have a long amateur career.
He didn't have a long amateur career.
Yeah.
Well, we beat him twice in the amateurs.
Yeah.
And he says, he looks back now, he says, he probably could have.
You have those fights on film? Against
No,
Bernard?
I don't have none Bernard fights, but I got some of his footage on to show him as a fight. You're going to see the doc, bro. Matter of fact, maybe you can help. We could talk some business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we definitely could.
So the funny thing about it, Phil, so that's one of the stories. And then one of the other stories is about a guy who, this dude was 113-12 as an amateur. And he had, out of his 12 losses, 3 of his losses was to one dude. One dude altered his career in boxing out of Philly. You know who it was? Meldrick Taylor.
Wow.
Meldrick was the only one he couldn't really get by. And he wind up...
Did you get Meldrick?
No, I didn't get Meldrick. No, I don't even know if I could interview Meldrick because he's doing, I got good interviews. Buddy McGirt's in it. Carlos Palomino's in it. Mark Breland's in it.
I saw something on the internet. You interviewing somebody at Ten Goose. Was that for this?
That was. Oh, well, they interviewed me a lot during.
Were you being I thought you were. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
you were interviewing somebody that was in the ring. You were.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you saw that one, huh? That was with me and Carlos Palomino.
Palomino, right?
Yeah, Carlos.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think he was in the ring yet, but you were struggling to get him to get in front of you.
Right. Yeah, no, it's Carlos Palomino. Yeah, but he gave me a great interview.
Yeah,
he gave me a great interview.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, but the story, man, is so unique, man. That and it's a story that's needed because I tell you, man, like you said something earlier, like if I knew what I knew then back in whenever and social media,
we would have done that shit then.
But what was crazy though is I always tell people this: there's nothing more powerful to me in my mindset than when you hear a man say, I wish I would have listened. Because you got to remember, I'm interviewing these men now, and they're in their late 40s, early 50s, mid-50s. But I got pictures of them when they were younger, and I'm showing them now. And these dudes were like, you can just see the story, man, of how it affected them. Because the streets got them. The streets got one. One dude gave it up before, like he might give it up for religion. My other one, Reggie Woods, he was 55-2 as an amateur, won the Nationals in Hawaii the year that it was in Hawaii in 77, 76, and he didn't go pro because his mother was dying of cancer, and he promised his mom he would get education. I mean, it's just some. So when you see this, man, it's a great story.
I'm looking forward. Send it. I want to see it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you tonight.
Yeah,
today.
Wow.
But so that's what I've been working on. So I've been putting that together.
How's your comedy?
My comedy's great. Well, obviously nobody's doing comedy in the world. Well, people are starting to get back out, but I don't really like to do Zoom shows, so I haven't really done a lot of shows yet. But my comedy, I was on fire, man. I was doing my thing. I was performing a lot of clubs around town. But what I'm about to do,
I would be watching like some of the comedians that I've known over the years, and you're actually one of them that makes me laugh.
Right. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Because when you know somebody, it's harder to laugh.
Yeah.
And maybe because
funny looking, man. You know what I mean? I don't know.
kind of like maybe half that and half pathetic.
Right. You feel bad for me, like, you know what? He got a bad life. You know what? I'm gonna laugh, y'all, because I can see no one else is gonna hire this guy today. But man, yeah. So I mean, you know what I did? I started doing a lot of stand up, but then in '99,
you're doing the right thing now, man.
Yeah, I started writing in '99.
Yeah,
and I've got 5 screenplays written, ready to go. Great stories. I have like you. I've had options on film. One of my best options was about 5 years ago. I got a $30,000 option on a screenplay.
That's good.
Oh yeah, I was doing pretty good for a minute with that.
Did it get made?
It never got made and got the screenplay back.
Yeah.
So, But it's just I started writing, and you know what it was too, Phil? It was kind of like what you said earlier. You know, which I'm happy. It's harder, and this is something that I was going to lead into when we was kind of talking off camera. It's harder, but it's more fulfilling, and I think it's needed. You know, the industry to me has really, excuse my language, but fuck people over. You know what I mean? For years, you had the major networks, and then you had the major film, and I've traveled the world. I can honestly say now I've traveled the world because of my stand-up. I've been in Korea, Japan, Kuwait, Jordan.
Oh, that's great.
You know what I mean? Bahrain. I've been to Egypt, Africa. I've been to, Egypt is Africa.
You might have some kids all around the world, though.
Yeah, I got at least one in Africa. I don't know if they're going to find him in the jungle, but I got one in Africa.
Well, if it's your kid, at some point we'll know it's your kid.
yeah, he's going to come out, yeah.
We'll look at him like...
And he talks a lot.
He just like, look like you, maybe even if it's a woman.
Yeah, it probably still look like me, yeah.
Yeah, with a beard.
Yeah, exactly, and a mustache, yeah. But I think that what happened with me was I was one of them guys, and you know me a long time, I always try to just do it by the book. I'm kind of like... I'm a guy that probably was born, I thank God when I was born, but I'm saying I probably was born 10 years, 15 years too late. I mean, too early.
Yeah.
No, late, because if I could have made it big in the 60s and the 70s, because my attitude is, hey, you be the entertainer, you perform, and you find the right management, and you help them push you, and then you handle it. You know what I mean? But what happened with, and that's how it was Hollywood, you would figure it would be, even with comedy. The agents would come out, look at comedy in the clubs and go, okay, this guy's got some talent or whatever, hey, interested in signing you. But now with social media, everybody got lazy. So now they do, which is cool, but they look at, oh, you got 10 million followers. Okay, let's get this guy. May not have an ounce of talent, but I'm not mad at it. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Because it puts pressure on them now. See, now you can control your own narrative if you get that many followers. Yeah. Like this guy you got, this fight, Now you say he can, obviously I know he can fight, but I'm saying.
Trust me, he can fight.
Yeah, but just think though, who would have given him a shot 20 years ago? Without knowing him. He would have had to have an amateur record.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't get the shot he's getting now.
Exactly.
He's making millions. He's fighting 4-round fights.
Exactly. So, which is so interesting about my documentary as well, if you intertwine them, because these guys, the problem with some of these dudes is they were like 13, 14-0, but they were still only making $1,500, $2,000 a fight. You 14, 15-0 today, you're going to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
You got this Lopez kid. Good fighter, great fighter.
You hear what I don't know, you maybe haven't heard it. What fight do you think would be the best fight for him? Like the most interesting fight?
For Lopez?
Lopez, yeah.
The guy...
You'll never guess it. And when I say it, you're going to go,
do you want to think Devin Haney?
Nothing even near. The biggest fight that can be made, and you might even say he has a good chance of losing.
Who?
At 147.
He's not fighting 47 though.
He wants to go up there.
Okay.
I would think 47. Yeah.
Floyd?
No. Well, that would be interesting too. But Floyd's retired.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
That's the fight.
Yeah. Pacquiao would beat him.
Okay.
Yeah. Pacquiao would beat him because even at that age.
No, Pacquiao gets caught. He gets knocked out cold.
Yeah. But the thing is, see,
this boy's got a good right hand.
He got good right hand, but he got exposed.
Oh yeah, when the guy jumped on him, when Lomachenko
decided to put the pressure on him,
yeah, and Pacquiao's all pressure.
The problem with this guy is, the problem with that fight, just to get off the subject a little bit, the problem with that fight was Lomachenko got started too late. They had the game plan right, but they got too relaxed in the corner. So now they're sitting in the corner. I swear to God, I thought they was having wine and cheese in the corner. It was cool. Because his dad was comfortable. But that was the 5th or 6th round. I would have probably had him fight the same fight, but I'd have said, okay, look, round 5.
Third or fourth.
Yeah, let's put a little bit of pressure on him. And so by the time he started putting pressure on him, and he was getting Lopez to back up, he was hurting Lopez. He damaged Lopez.
Yeah.
So I think Lomachenko can beat him. I just think he got started too late. But I was surprised there wasn't a rematch clause in it. That's what I was surprised about.
Well, I don't know how much his shoulder played a part of this because he had like that major surgery.
Yeah.
And they showed it. You saw it, right? All those cuts on his
No,
arm
I didn't know
and
that.
stuff.
No.
Oh yeah, it was really bad, man.
Yeah, I think obviously, I think he can come back. He's a little older. I give Lomachenko at least 2 or 3 more. I think there's not many guys that are gonna be able to beat him in that weight class. So I would like to see the rematch, and hopefully, you know what I mean. I didn't pick Lopez. That's the funny thing. I picked Lomachenko, but I got to, I give respect where it's due.
I don't think he hurt himself in this fight.
Who?
Lomachenko.
No, he didn't because he.
So that's all that matters.
Let me put it this way:
he's gonna fight a named guy, destroy him, and then he's back.
If it's
then the
1981,
rematch has to
82,
happen.
83, 84, Lomachenko wins because those are when they still were going 15 rounds, and he would have got him. I think he would have got the kid.
Well, the kid won the 12th round though.
He got the 12th. Yeah,
Lopez.
He did win
no,
it. Yeah,
won,
but you know
won.
what? But it was easier to win the 12th round when you going all out and you tagging him. You know what I mean? Because you know his gamble was.
Well, what did you think? What did you think going into the 12th round? Before the 12th round, what do you think the score was after 11 rounds?
Honestly, I had a 6-5 Lopez.
All right, 6-5. I said
I had to fight 7-5 total.
I wasn't keeping score. I should. It's probably the best way to watch fights.
Yeah,
like have.
I was
have a paper and pen, and
right.
every round you score on your own. You're on, but I'm being focused. I can really judge, and that's why it's hard to be focused for 12 straight rounds.
Yeah.
That's why these judges are all messed up.
Well, I don't care how messed up, but go ahead.
Well,
finish your point.
going into the 12th round, I said to myself, whoever wins this 12th round deserves the fight.
Right. And that's how I felt. Like it was 6-5.
It came down. I said they deserve it because me as a corner man, a trainer and shit, man, I would have said you need this round.
Right.
It should have came from both sides. You need this round. This is going to be. I mean, that's it. I mean, I would think both trainers would have said that you need to win this round.
His dad didn't. His dad felt he already had to fight because his dad had told him to stay away. If you remember, his dad said Lopez's dad was like, "Okay, you got to fight, whatever."
Yeah, but he didn't stay away.
No, he didn't, which was smart for him.
It's smart for him.
But
fighting those,
I think if I could ever say that Lomachenko's dad or his corner made a mistake, they just got him started too late because after the 5th round, 6th round, see, what I watch is the corner. When I watch in the corner is how you breathing. I don't even watch how you looking.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell people, Canelo to me is a very beatable fighter. People just don't put the pressure on him because Canelo's conditioning always seems to get after 7 rounds.
What's his best weight?
Canelo?
Yeah.
He has to fight 56. I don't think he should go up.
56.
Junior
54,
middleweight.
54, you mean? 54.
54. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
54. I meant junior middleweight. Well, junior middleweight.
Or middleweight.
Because 160 is middleweight.
Yeah.
So 54, 56, yeah.
So, you don't think his...
I think he goes up in weight.
Well,
if he goes past that.
No, he's been fighting super middleweight. But I'm saying like middleweight. Okay, I'm ready to listen to this now, okay? Canelo. All right, I'm going to throw out Canelo. You tell me who wins.
Okay.
I think they're quick answers, in my opinion.
Okay.
Okay? Canelo, James Toney.
Oh, James Toney.
Canelo, Roy Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
Canelo,
no.
Michael Nunn.
Yeah, in their prime. In their prime. Yeah.
Canelo, Michael Nunn.
Yeah.
Michael Nunn smokes him.
Exactly. So that's my point. And these guys, and Canelo made more money, like in one fight, than all these 10 guys that we can name
in their career.
Oh yeah, another big name. Ready? Canelo. Who we missing, man?
Marvin Hagler.
Marvin Hagler. You read my mind.
Come on, man. Hagler. Come on.
Hagler would kill him. Even Hearns at 60. Even though Hearns got knocked out by Iran Barkley twice at 60.
But
Hearns might be the only one.
Canelo doesn't fight like Barkley. See, them boys back in the day, and I don't like to do that. I don't like to play that game back in the day. No. Hold
it. You don't like playing this game?
No, not the game. No, not that game you're saying. I'm saying
hold it.
I don't like to. Go ahead.
Let me finish, man.
Go ahead.
You don't like playing that game like back in the day. What the hell is your documentary about?
No. My documentary
is about back in the day.
It's telling a story back in the day. All of a sudden, now you want to be a school teacher. Now this motherfucker, all of a sudden, now he want to act like he knows what he's talking about.
Oh, man.
Great show here you got, man.
I'm just protecting
and
you.
Nice seats. Yeah, what's up with these leopard seats? I was scared at first to come on here. I was like, what?
I don't want you to
look in the gym with
I don't want you to
seats.
look bad, man. You know, back
what
in the
I mean
day.
by that is this.
Okay.
When you compare, because there are fighters today that fight like these guys. See what I'm saying? Because everybody says, oh, back in the day, I would have. No. Fighting is fighting. Basketball is basketball. It's the rules. But the reason I say someone like Barkley would, even though Barkley knocked out Hearns, Barkley would have beat a Canelo because Barkley was mad active.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about their activity.
You know, if you think about what we're talking about back in the day, it's almost like, we say, if I knew now, like if I knew what I know now,
right?
If I knew then. Now, okay, we just said back in the day, all those Hagler and even Ray Leonard at 60, Duran even at 60.
Oh, to me?
All right, no. So we're saying all these guys would kill Canelo.
Right.
Now let's go back in the day. Back in the day with those guys.
Ray Robinson,
Jake LaMotta, like even, the middleweights, Emil Griffith.
Yes.
So many of those. And those guys would probably beat these guys. Ain't that weird?
Right, but again.
And those guys were like, I don't know if you say that about any other sport.
Right. But you validate what I just said, though. In boxing is not like basketball where the rules change and you got the athletes now having different type of superior athletic,
they got sneakers now,
fight,
man,
right.
that make you jump
2 more inches. Yeah. A fighter is a fighter. Speed is speed. You see what I'm saying? Conditioning is conditioning. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. These dudes, but today you see guys going 12 rounds, and by the 12th round, they gassed out. I saw this Hagler. I watched the Hagler-Duran fight.
Oh, they gassed out in 6-7 rounds. A lot of them, but they have to get their second win.
That's why I was telling people, you can say what you want about Mayweather. He's one of the greatest. This boy never gassed out.
Yeah.
I never saw Mayweather gassed out.
All right, hold on now. One of the greatest is very hard to say. He was great. I would say he was really good in his day. Now, you got a guy like, Mayweather, 50-0, welterweight, right?
Yeah, but you got to go. He came up, so he started at I think lightweight,
35. Or
yeah,
whatever,
130,
right?
130, right?
But I'm saying he's making all his money at welterweight,
right?
Right. At his biggest time in his career, he didn't make no money in those other days.
They kind of got it. They didn't give him a great contract. That's why he left.
Yeah, no, I'm saying he made all his money at welterweight.
Right.
Now you get a guy like him, 50 fights. Look at Ray Robinson at welterweight. 175 fights or whatever, right? So how can you put him in that same category?
Because we got it. I
don't think you could, man.
No, you got to hear me out though. Because you asked that question.
Yeah.
I think you have to be fair in terms of the times. And that's what I'm saying. We have to look at someone like Ray Robinson may not have had 175 fights if the mafia, people wasn't taking his cash to the point where you see what I'm saying?
Hear you, man. No, but those are proven guys who went through it.
Right.
We don't know if a guy like Floyd can do it.
True, but
these guys did it.
I agree with you, but again,
another light heavyweight, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, amazing. I would just say Archie Moore.
He had to get great fight.
As a Charles, those guys were like Jersey Joe. Mm-hmm. Why Joe Louis? Well, he was a heavyweight.
And you know what? You know what's different though too. The only thing, and this is what people really don't talk a lot about in boxing, especially when it comes to that what you're talking about, the older fighters and today's fighters. The distractions back then were less. The most of your big distraction back then was if these dudes didn't. It's not even the women, drugs. Back then, right? Think about it.
I think alcohol and drugs.
Alcohol. Some type of drug, alcohol, drugs, whatever.
But that was part of the game. I think maybe that's what they're missing nowadays.
Yeah, but my point being is, back in the day, you had less distraction. So if you didn't really get caught up on alcohol or drugs, and especially when you was fighting for the mob back in the day, and your thing was, they're telling you we need to fight, whatever, just go out there and fight, whatever. Your focus is different. Now you got social media, you got to do the promotion. They didn't do all that promotion like they're doing. Floyd wouldn't have to go around to 5 different countries to promote the Pacquiao fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just using Floyd as an example. I just think that the fighters today have more of a distraction, but the money is so much greater. Like I said, Lopez I don't know what he made off this fight, but 16 fights. 16 fights, and the dude.
Well, he didn't make that much money off of this fight. Now he's going to make the money.
But he made what, $2 or $3 million?
Yeah.
So,
Probably.
But back then, 16 fights, you still might get $100 a round.
No, 16 fights. Yeah, 100.
Come on,
You're fighting 4 rounds.
Right, right. So I mean,
The first 50 fights, you're fighting 4 rounds.
exactly. So just think though, these dudes today, the opportunity, and I'm not hating on them at all. I'm happy that they're making their cash because I think what has happened is, I think like I always tell people, the great thing about social media, because I don't really like social media. I really don't. I think it's just has changed us as people. But with fighters, now you feel you know this. If you manage a fighter, say I manage you. This is 1970, 75, 80, 85, 90. And I come to you and go, Phil, hey, we got a fight for you with Leonard, and they're going to pay you $500,000. You're like, cool, and you go train. But the problem is, the networks of them already came to me and gave me $3 million for the fight. I'm telling you, you're getting $500,000. So that means I'm taking money off the top. Then I'm taking more money off of you because I manage you.
Percentage, yeah.
And that's what the only thing about social media is now, nothing can be hidden in terms of numbers. People know what you're going to make. You know what I mean? So these guys know. And I think that's why certain promoters to me today are really good. Like I give De La Hoya the credit because him being an ex-fighter, I think people like De La Hoya and now Mayweather, these guys are actually letting these guys make money because they know they're going to make the money and they're going to like, look, this is what we're getting. It's easier now too, I guess, when you have more fighters under one roof. So if I got 9 or 10 fighters, you know what? Phil, make you $2 million. Because whatever little bit between you, and all these guys and their top fighters, I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
Where before, Don King, I mean, let's just be honest. Don King gave some of these guys some bad contracts. Now, were they bad contracts or were they contracts that these guys didn't read? You know what I mean? Or didn't have a good lawyer to look out for them.
I won't say in defense of Don King, but Don King's defense was I made more millionaires than anyone.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he he gave them $1 million, he took 5.
Yeah. Now, hey, it's on you if you can't read the fine print.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like buying a house, Hey, $800 a payment? Cool. Well, hold up. But if you read the fine print, in 2 years, that blows up to $5,000 a month.
Hey, speaking of the documentary you did, okay?
Yes.
A movie. Give me your 3 top boxing movies of all time that you love.
Okay. Raging Bull. I think Raging Bull is like my top one.
Was that?
That was the Jake LaMotta.
No. I know that. I know that one. I think someone said like that wasn't really a boxing movie. That was more about a man's life.
But it was dealing around the boxing.
Pretty much. Okay, yeah. Raging Bull. You're right. Okay, what else?
Yeah. Let me see. Ali story. The first
one, Will Smith.
The one wasn't there one before that one? No, that was it. The first one.
The one before was with Ali himself. The greatest. It was called.
Right.
Ali played himself.
Right. And then
No. Which one you saying?
Oh, I go with Will. Since we're gonna say movie.
You like that one?
Yeah, I liked it. Only because we know the story. Muhammad Ali, God rest his soul, his story is like King Kong. How many times can you tell the monkey came from the jungle and got the white girl? But we keep making movies about it. So I think that one. And the last one, what's Phil? That's funny because I never had nobody ask me this question before. So I can't think of all the great boxing movies. Run some by me, then I'll just give me.
Cinderella Man?
Cinderella Man was good.
I know. Hold on. I'm going to make you maybe change your mind.
Cinderella was the one when.
Russell Crowe. Great. The Jim Braddock story.
That movie made me mad, though. That movie made me mad because that was when Jim Braddock didn't want to fight Joe Louis. But so he said, if I fight Joe Louis, I get 10% of whatever Joe Louis makes the rest of his life. So Joe Louis was always getting robbed, and without even knowing it. But yeah, I know this story. Yeah.
All right, so Cinderella Man.
That was good. See,
What?
I don't know. That's a great movie, but
I'm throwing it out there.
No, I know, but I'm saying that it became a chain. You know what I mean? It became a.
Well, just think about the first one.
First one, I got to give it to you. You know why? Because I think everybody has seen that, especially
Philadelphia, man.
I'm gonna say this. It put Philly on the map, even though Philly was already on the map for boxing. And I want to make sure that the country knows and the world knows. Philadelphia it was between Philly and New York has always been the fighting towns. So, but we were actually the guys. Hagler came and lost to Benny Briscoe in Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, who we talk about in my documentary. But Rocky kind of let you saw what it was like for really a real fighter back then. You know, no glitz and glamour. You know, you fought. You know, you had a job. You know what I'm saying? And you know, yeah, Rocky was good.
There was The Fighter. I think there was one.
What was
Mark
the one?
Wahlberg.
Yeah, that was one with about Ward, Mickey Ward.
Mickey Ward.
That was a good movie too. That was a good movie.
Oh, but there's a lot of old ones,
It's
man.
a lot, it's a lot of older movies that are good, but
boxing movies will always come out.
yeah.
I mean, I've written one, but mine's on a what do you call them? A tranny. A tranny.
A tranny?
About
a tranny.
A female fighter
That was a dude?
that no one knows that it's a dude, and the trainer falls in love.
With the dude?
No, he doesn't know it's a dude. He thinks it's just a female fighter.
Oh shit.
No, this is something that.
Really happened?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's something that I wrote. I always try to. The way I write, man, I try to do something that never has been done before.
I'm like that too.
And is the most shocking.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cop in here that abuses, basically rapes this girl every
Right.
night because she has no choice.
Wow.
But he tortures her when he's doing
Right.
Sexual torture.
Right.
And I said, I'm going to make this guy like the most feared
Fighter.
character ever in the history of fucking Hollywood.
Right.
I go to the extremes, and that's all.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's been some great it's been some great movies. It's funny, man, because I really feel, and I'm gonna show you, I feel my documentary, and I've had it reviewed. I couldn't have a screening because of the pandemic. So what I did was I sent it to about 8 or 9 women, and I sent it to about like 8 or 9 dudes, guys. And more people watched it, and I got them to look at it and then tell me what they think. I just got one from a lady out of Ohio who I knew, and she said, Dan, it's great.
Good.
Because I believe that my documentary is what, and I hope and pray that I can get something out there one day, a deal, because, and it's not so much about making money, but I hope that I can get it out to the world, because my documentary is what life is about today. You always hear people say, I want to get back to the kids stuff. No, my documentary really lets you know, look, if you got the opportunity, because the difference is a lot of people don't get the opportunity. You know what I mean? But if you got it right there in your hands and you don't take advantage of it, a lot of stuff, your life can go a different way.
I got a pretty big question on that whole documentary scene.
Yes.
The whole world you're talking about, right?
Yes.
All right. How big a part of that all those fighters in there and the trainers and them going home and coming back to the gym every day, and everyone's got their own problems, their world and tragedies and this and that. How big of a oh, damn it, man. What's the word I'm looking for? How big does God play in that role?
Here's the funny thing about it is, all of these guys.
What's in that room, that gym? Do you feel like the Holy Spirit's in there watching?
I don't feel that, but you know what? I don't know if I want to say the Holy Spirit, but let me put it this way. One thing, okay, the unique thing about my documentary is this. Most time when you hear about team documentaries, basketball, football, baseball, they usually have all, whoever they can find in a room, right? And they're all kind of telling a story. And then one guy will go, well, Phil, remember when you missed that touchdown against Oklahoma? And then they may show footage or talk about it. Outside of that, I interviewed each fighter separately because I did not want them.
There was 8 fighters?
It's a total, 1, 2, 3. It's probably a total about nine fighters, one guy in prison, and everybody else. But it's about 8 to 9 fighters. But I interviewed each one separately. And the reason was because of this. I did not want them to look at each other to trigger, and I'm getting to your point, so hang with me, to trigger a thought or a story. So I didn't want them to be talking to me and look at you and go, yeah. Hey, Phil, remember when you fought, oh, yeah, I remember when Phil fought Purnell. And then is that banter back. Because what happens is now you're telling a story, I'm telling a story, and you almost meshing your stories together. I won't say on purpose, but on purpose.
Yeah.
See, it's different if I interview you by yourself and you start telling the story, and then I interview this other guy by himself, and he tells the story, and he can tell the same story. You know what I mean? Now,
that's a real good point, because there was a chance that guy Jerry Rosenberg would have been here today. Right? And we wouldn't have heard all this great stuff.
Right. But now here's something really great. Here's something different. Now, to your point, one thing about that gym, and most gyms, well, a lot of gyms back then, they were community gyms. Most of the guys came from the community. We didn't have too many guys coming from, we had guys coming from Southwest or from down the bottom, but most of them were from the Hill or 60th and Market area. They were from that area. But here's the thing. They all said the same thing. And the trainer said this in the beginning. He said, we ran the gym like one big family. And a lot of times in families, especially with black people.
Like my gym.
Yes. With black people, there's that, and I'm saying black because these were black fighters. I'm not trying to separate it. But the spirit, that spiritual thing, the family, because we all know someone's got some shit going on in their family. You know what I mean? So we ran it like a family. Like, these men took their own money, and they knew we didn't have any money as kids. You know what I mean? They know our mothers and parents didn't have money, and they took us to the Ohio State Fair, to the fights around town on their own dime. So spiritually, of what you're saying, I think it's there. It was not spoken, but when you got guys, and you see this documentary, and you hear a guy go, yeah, they would drive around the neighborhood and see us on the corner, and they're like, did you go to school today or something like that? And you hear one guy goes, there was your mother and your father in the streets. You know what I mean? And that's that. So I would say yes without saying, because I'm not going to lie, I don't want to do propaganda stuff. To God, no. But it's that, it's that underlying family, and when you deal with people in family, depending on what kind of family you have, a lot of spiritualness, if that's the word, comes from it. Yeah, when I did the documentary, I can't lie to you, Phil, man. When it was done, I'm not gonna say I got emotional, but I was like,
I can't wait to see it, man.
Follow this whole process, because notice being a fighter and being a trainer, that's what we do.
How long did it take from the day, the idea till the wrap?
2000, October 17th, the idea came into effect. November 2017 is when I first started writing, when I first put a little bit of ink to the paper. And I would say November of 2019, the final cut was made. I would say director's cut. Could we, anything that was happening. But the director's cut, the end of November 2019, that's 2 years, and then February, February of this year was when the trailer was done. So I completed the trailer this year.
Wow.
And
what did Carlos Palomino have to do with this?
Because Carlos Palomino, Sam Watson, people that were involved in boxing, Buddy McGirt, they knew about the gym. Now, it's not in my documentary, but what a lot of people don't know about Carlos Palomino is we had two fighters from Philadelphia that were connected, not to our gym, but knew the fighters from our gym that were killed in that plane crash that went to Poland that year. You remember that year? We lost the whole national team?
Whole team, yeah.
Yeah. And one of the guys from our team would have been on that plane had he won. Wow. You know what I mean? So, no, actually, I think had he lost, because we had a couple national teams. If you remember,
he was on the plane.
Yeah, we had a couple national teams. You remember back in the day, we had like, I think it was like an A national and a B. Well, Carlos Palomino's brother, he lost his brother on that plane.
Carlos Palomino.
Yeah, he had a brother that died in that plane crash.
He was a fighter.
He was very good fighter, and he only started fighting because of him. Yeah, so it's not in the documentary, because I didn't want to kind of sway from what Carlos was. But Carlos knew about our gym. He had heard about it, just like Sam had heard about it. So, because, when you go to nationals, that's when you meet guys. And Marvin Tucci Gordon was such a big character. You know what I mean? And you'll see how they talk about him in the doc. And you'll see him in the doc, because I got some footage of him, that it really allowed people from different parts of Buddy McGirt gave me a great interview. Yeah. Buddy McGirt.
Yeah, I want to get Buddy here.
Yeah. Buddy gave me, I only got Buddy a little bit in it, but he gave me a great one. Like I said, Breland gave me a great interview. And this story is just unique. I'm telling you, I think, when somebody really sees it, if I can get in the eyes of the right people.
Look, I've worked on award-winning movies as a technical advisor. Mm-hmm. They'd bring me in and they'd let me see the whole cut, the rough cut.
Right.
And saying they trust me, Phil, give me notes.
Right.
And, they put me in a room and say, here, this is what we finished with.
Right.
Tell me if you see anything. Mm-hmm. And I have a pad and paper, right?
Right.
And the director would leave me in there, right? He'd come back an hour later.
Yeah.
And, the thing will be on freeze or whatever, and I'm writing. I'm like,
you're
these
still
notes,
writing, yeah.
right? I got these notes. He goes, Phil, what are you doing? I says, I'm just writing notes for you, man. And it took a long time because I got this eye that's crazy, man, when it comes to any kind of boxing movie.
Right.
I mean, I just worked on this last one. What's My Name, Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, was you on that one? I was the boxing consultant.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I got me and Antoine Fuqua, man, we were the only two on the set.
Wow, yeah. I know Antoine. I was trying to he used to train over there where I'm at, 10 Goose.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they I don't want to say names, but they stole them from me.
Right.
I needed a gym. I brought Antoine there. And, the backstabbing thing in the boxing world or whatever, it happens.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like I said, man,
No, my point was when I see your thing.
Okay, yeah.
The less I come back with, the better.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll just say, man, that's I don't think I'll be able to give as many notes because it's not something that they're hiring me for.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's really done and completed.
I just want to see if
I just like for you to take a look at it. I want to show you because you know boxing, and I think the story, like I said, I'm grinding on it right now.
I'm 2 for 2, man.
Are you 2 for 2?
2 for 2, both in the best pitches.
Okay.
Both.
Well, we'll see what happens with this, but I think actually one of your producers for the show. One of the people that he knows is his aunt is a good friend of mine, and she saw the trailer. And like I said, I just feel like
I can send it to Antoine too if you wanted me to.
Yeah, it's a story that the thing about it is boxing to me is the most unique sport ever because it's the sport that everybody looks at. See, it's the only sport that people look at and say they can do until they get in there. Football, I say no because I know I can't hit. Basketball, no, I know I can't jump. Even I'm a golfer, so I know how to golf. But I know if I watch it, I can't hit it. Or tennis, run it. But boxing, especially for a man, when you look at it and you got some type of edge upon you, so I can go in and win. And you could probably beat the dude. The question is your conditioning going to allow you to beat the dude? Is your mentality going to allow you to beat the dude? You know what I mean? So that's why I think that. And I can pretty much say it saved my life, considering, because my background. I don't know if you remember, I'm a foster kid. You know what I mean? So grew up in the foster care system, never knew my parents. Started, my adopted mother had me in Philly, and that's when I started boxing. And I look at all of the stuff that boxing has done for me, and it's So I think that's what makes me that's why the story is so unique to me and so close to me, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, yeah. I get that part. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
No, I'm really happy that you were able to do it.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. But God, I'm gonna tell you now, this is what I say. God has a way of working out things because look at the pandemic now. If I would have started this last year, I wouldn't have been able to do nothing because nobody's dealing with each other.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Think about it. I wouldn't have been able to go back. I had to go to Philadelphia 4 times. Each time stay a week. In a hotel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the cameraman and everything. I mean, me and this dude, we put money into it. But we were, like I said, God blessed me. I had some good years in commercial. You know, I did a gang of commercials. So I had the money, and I just said, you know what, Dannon? If you're going to do it, now's the time to do it. You know, and I invested the money, but
I haven't seen you in commercials. What commercials?
I had a lot of commercials. Oh my god!
Which one? From the most break.
I had McDonald's. I had oh my god, man!
What's your order?
No, I didn't order. I had a couple McDonald's commercials. I was actually in a McDonald's commercial where I played a mechanic one time.
How do you play a mechanic in a video?
Well, you know, they got me under the hood, and something goes on, and we're talking about the product.
Was it Ronald McDonald's car or something?
Nah, Ronald ain't Ronald no more. They got rid of Ronald. I think Ronald really actually scared the kids. You don't see Ronald McDonald.
How did you do? Oh, so you were just eating McDonald's?
Yeah, well, I wasn't eating, but it was a McDonald's commercial that dealing with, I think the coffee drink. So it was like a morning coffee drink. But I was the Popeye's chicken person before the girl. Before her, it was me.
Really?
I had the campaign for a year and a half.
I wish I could say I seen something that you want in a commercial.
Well, Phil, you know, you probably didn't even know it was me. You probably did see it was me. But now you would have known me.
What was your biggest one?
Oh, my God.
That made you the most money. That's all that matters.
I had this hotel commercial. I can't remember the name because my mindset is so, I was going to say if I had to list it. But put it this way, I've had between 2007 to 2018, I probably shot about 10, 15 commercials, which is a lot considering a lot of people shoot a whole lot more. But I've made good money. I've had some, I think I had 2 years where I made over 100,000. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's great.
And then just regular, you know, spots, like put it this way, I was doing well enough to, at the time, wasn't working no other kind of gig, you know what I mean? But I made enough money, I could say, to, like I said, to invest into this project, you know, and it was, you know, like I said, I'm excited about it.
For it, man.
Yeah, yeah. You got to, man. You know what it is? I think if I would have had this attitude 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I probably would be a lot further but I think what happens is, and I started talking about it earlier, you try to do things right. You know what I mean? You try to do it the way you think it's supposed to be. You know, just be the good actor, be the good comedian, do it right, hope they promote you, hope they hire you. When really, sometimes the dudes that make it the most are the biggest assholes. Now, I'm not going to be an asshole because it's just not in my spirit, but sometimes you got to just be like, yo, man, they try to, you should do it this way. And then usually I would listen. But now I'm like, no, I'm going to do it this way. This is how I'm going to do it. Because Floyd says something that and I always try to tell people, how can you hate on a man? Because, you know, a lot of people don't like Floyd because he's brass and all that. I said, but how can you hate on a man that made almost $1 billion kicking ass? That's all he did. And we ain't talk about commercials. I mean, you know this game. You know, it ain't but so many products you can really promote if you ain't promoting, like Sugar Ray was the first big.
How come he doesn't do any commercials or promotes?
I don't know. I heard, he promote.
Ain't that weird, man? Everything is his own stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think that's I don't know Floyd, but to me that's egotistic. It's ego.
No, his rate is too high.
Yeah, yeah.
If I'm going to do a McDonald's commercial, give me $100 million.
Yeah.
What are you, nuts?
Yeah, but that's what he's saying because he knows
they get Dannon for like what, 10 G's, 20 G's a day.
Shit, right now you give me for $2. Shit. Give me some gas money. You do a commercial? No, give me $10.
No, and a Happy Meal.
Yeah, and a Happy Meal. And you can run it as many times as you want. I need the money now. But no, I just think that I'm a big fan of Floyd.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of people, and like I said, because of my background, I'm a fan of underdogs that take advantage of it. Like I'm a big LeBron James fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of Floyd because Floyd, you know his background. You know his daddy.
Yeah.
You know, Roger, believe it or not, was probably the one that was the centerpiece, which people really don't know. Because Roger was the one that went to Vegas to be the pro and built all of the connections, even though Roger was a hard ass. But he had, you know, Bob, he had the people that when Floyd turned pro, there was enough people to take a look at him. Now, plus, obviously, Floyd was a beast, and he really should have won the gold medal in '96. But when you have a guy like Floyd, and they come up, and this family isn't, you know, they're not nicely chiseled, you know what I mean? You know, your daddy was a drug dealer, your uncle was mean, you know, you said your mama was out there, but the do what he did and then not do drugs, not be a drinker, and to be totally focused. Because, when you fight the levels that they're fighting, it's a whole lot of distraction. Yeah. And even though it was Floyd, he could have got robbed a couple points. I'm kind of sure he got a couple gifts, in fights. I think the Medina fight, the first one.
No, definitely.
Not the Medina fight, but the Castillo fight.
But no, for sure he lost that fight.
Yes.
The first one.
Then he came back. So he could have gotten it, but I think what people don't look at is, and this is, I think people can look at him and go, outside of all the cameras and stuff, somebody liked him, and people don't want to look at that, but
they also saw you have to keep him undefeated.
He was the cash cow.
Yeah,
but even though he was the cash cow, the Castillo fight, had he fought De La Hoya yet?
I don't think so.
So he wasn't still considered, AKA the A side just yet.
But De La Hoya might have been calling the shots, saying, "Man, make sure he wins, because we're going to fight for all this money." And okay,
again, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
but it didn't have to happen. You see what I'm saying? You could be the money man, but if they really don't like you enough, they can find somebody else. They can find somebody else to try to push. I think Vegas saw.
They did it to Larry Holmes twice.
They dogged Larry Holmes, but Larry Holmes shot himself in the foot. First of all,
they
did
it twice with Spinks, I think.
Well, but look, when Larry Holmes fought, we still had Ali. We had the end of Ali.
Yeah.
But we still had Ali. So white America was, okay, you know what? We got Ali.
Well, he was the big thing. He was going after Marciano's record.
It's what he said.
That was after the fight. He said it.
He said, yeah.
He said it after the fight.
No, there was a fight before that one when he said Rocky Marciano couldn't. They made mention because he was coming.
No, and I think that was after his loss.
It was before that fight, I believe. Let me tell you what happened.
I think it was after.
Okay, we're gonna have to do some research because before that fight, I think there was a fight. And he said Rocky Marciano could not carry my jockstrap.
No, he wouldn't say that, and he wouldn't be that mad. He was mad because they took it away from him.
No, I think you're wrong on that one, because the fight he was mad at was when they robbed him the second time.
That was the second Michael
And when
Spinks.
he said, since we're on HBO, you can kiss my, my black ass, whatever. But either way, America, Larry Holmes was at the time, maybe someone that they felt like, okay, they didn't want that record threatened, and at the same time, was he endearing to the writers and stuff?
The first fight when he was going to tie the record, I think.
That was against Spinks.
Spinks. That wasn't a complete robbery, I don't think.
But he beat him, though.
No, the second fight, he beat him more.
He beat his ass on the second fight.
And he still lost it.
So that's when he said that black ass, y'all can kiss my black ass.
No, he was saying all the judges are drunk and all that shit. I remember he said that.
Right.
That's why he lost the second one even bigger.
Right.
But which is still wrong.
See, the thing is, you can't, and that's such a great point.
I'll be honest, man. I don't like. I'm so turned off by boxing in so many ways, because what ruins it to me is the bad decisions, the unfair decisions.
Personal.
Yeah, no, it's just wrong because, when you get a fighter that knows, he's fighting his ass, it's his chance to make a break. And then, he's fighting a guy that just has a bigger name and beats him.
So let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the decision with Triple G and Canelo? Because I felt Triple G won the first fight.
Well, that fight was much closer. I'm talking about the fights that you know. Right. They just had a fight recently where they gave a guy one judge gave the guy 12 rounds. Right? It was the fight with it was for the vacant title. It was that Uka guy.
The brother, the black dude.
The black dude.
And he fought
Amo Ramos.
Yeah.
Abel Ramos.
Well, they also gave him a bad decision against Sean Porter.
I know that. No, hold on. But I'm saying those two guys fought. No, I hooked up Abel Ramos. I was his guardian angel.
Okay.
I hooked him up with a manager that took him. He drove his car to Arizona. He went right into, I said, go see this guy.
Right.
He's unsigned. He's 7-0, and he needs a manager. He's the real deal. So this is a multimillionaire guy.
Right.
He drove down there. met him in at his house in Phoenix, I think, and signed him right on the spot. Gave him like a suitcase of money.
Wow.
Right, because he makes millions and millions.
Right.
This guy, right? And he was new to the game, but he got him 2 weeks later. He got him on Showbox fighting Maurice Hooker,
right,
the former champion, in an 8-round fight. And this guy only fought 4 rounds. This was 2 weeks after he signed him.
Wow.
Because this guy with money, he wanted to get him in. It was Journeyman.
He wanted
Journeyman boxing, right?
Okay, I heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they had the gym with Buddy.
Him and Buddy broke up, correct?
Yeah, they just broke up too.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I was the guy that Buddy replaced. So he took all my fighters because I didn't like the way they were running the business.
I got you.
You know, my point is, on that decision, that Uma, whatever his name is, man, his fight against Ramos, one judge had it one. It was like 12 rounds to none. The other judge had it for Ramos,
right?
Because it came out split decision. It was like, so the weirdest thing. When they
now Ugas won, right?
Yeah.
But
he won by a point,
right?
But the first judge gave it to Ramos when they announced it. Mm-hmm. Ramos, all the announcers had, Joe Goosen and Lennox Lewis and whoever else were the announcers. They said it was a shutout. It's a shutout. So the first announcement was for
so it was
Ramos.
a shutout for Ugas.
Yeah.
But the other judge gave it to Ramos.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying the first announcement.
Right.
The first judge announcement, and
you're like, what the hell did that come from? Right. Like
he goes 117, 117, 112.
Right.
Like it wasn't even close.
Right.
They gave it Ramos.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The guy lost every round.
Right.
The next one won like 120 to 108 or something.
For
right?
Ugas.
For Ugas.
And then the split decision was close.
Then it came down to like 115, 113. So it made this guy like, he could tell his grandchildren, I fought for the title. I lost the split decision.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, look at this Lomachenko fight. The Letterman girl chick. She gave it 11-1. I was like, what fight was you watching?
Yeah, no, that's my point. I'm saying this the part that gets me really upset, is ruining it for me. That's why I like this. I got like 2 people in here I'm training are rappers.
Right.
Or, they're celebrities.
Yeah.
One's a celebrity, one's a rapper. And I'm going the social media route, man. They got millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers.
Right.
Let's fight each other.
Yeah.
We go on. I know how to get them on a pro show on the undercard or whatever, or you could do something, stream it somehow and make money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about the social media thing. That's all.
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah, but I think at the same time,
you don't have to deal, like you said, with the movies. You don't have to deal with the bullshit.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It cuts out. I don't want to say it cuts out the middleman, but it cuts out the bullshit. It cuts out.
Well, there's bullshit everywhere.
You know what? It's everywhere, Phil. But again, man, what has helped me, man, is I'm a kind of dude, and I probably have shot myself in the foot a couple of times. But one thing, if you want to talk spiritually and dealing with God, one thing I've been blessed with, bro, throughout my whole life is intuition and discernment. So I read people. I can read to somebody. And I've told people things are going to happen. I've read stuff.
I wish I had that gift.
And, bro, I got it. And it's scary sometimes. Like, I promise on everything. There have been things I have thought about that have happened. I never told nobody because I don't want nobody to look at me like I'm crazy. But there's things. And a lot of times if I meet a person early, 1 or 2 times, I'm going to tell you how it is. I know the rhythm. And so a lot of times, now there's been a couple times I haven't misjudged them, but I let them know up front too early that I knew the deal. So I didn't get to hear the rest of it, but it was because I'm a kind of guy, man, 2006, 2000, between 2003, 2002 and 2005, I had wrote a movie. And I was out there trying to get a deal. And every single person, even Danielle will tell you about this, every single person I went to turned it down. Oh, nobody be interested in this. No, it's okay. Every single, me and my writing partner to make a movie about trying to make the movie.
Yeah.
2007, I'm training. And this is one thing about boxing, like I said, it brings you in with a lot of people that you probably would have never thought would be involved with because, and I was training, actually this big time lawyer, he's big right now, his name is Alex Weinthorpe, something like that, out of Sherman Oaks. And I was training him, and I had a deal on the table, another deal that fell through. But because I wanted to use him, he allowed me, I was training him at his house, he allowed me, he looked at the paperwork and looked at my screenplay, so he knew about it. Right in the middle of the NBA playoffs, they start promoting this movie. And I go, wait a minute. Like, oh shit, that's my film. So the movie comes out. I go see the movie. It's funny you talk about spiritual and God because I go to watch the movie with my pastor's son, the church I go to. Like he was a young kid, Keen. I said, hey man, let's go to the movies. We went to the movies. You see the movie. And if my jaw wasn't connected, my nuts would have been smashed. Because I said, and people were just laughing and looking at the movie, and I'm like, wow. And I actually, man, first time I really got sad. You know what I mean? Like, wow. So I went back to the lawyer, and I said, Alex, I said, hey man, I think they took my movie. And he said, Dan, I saw the trailer. He said, I don't know. Because he had read the script, you know. He said, I don't know if it's your movie. But he said, but this is what I'll do. I'll go see the movie. And if you got a deal, if you got a case, I'll tell you. If you don't, I'm going to tell you ain't got a case.
Yeah.
I said, no problem. He went to go see it at the last place they were showing it. It was in Century City. I'm at the corner of Laurel Canyon and Ventura at the Kinko's down there. I'm running off scripts and other stuff. You know, I'm still out here grinding.
Yeah.
He calls me on my cell phone, 12:30 at night, and goes, Dannon, I think they stole your film. He said, and I'm going to represent you. And we won. And the thing that was...
You won.
We won.
What you win?
We won 6 figures, a little bit over 100,000. They settled out of court. I'm very disappointed what we won.
How long did that take?
It did. This is crazy about it. The lawsuit and everything took less than 6 months.
Okay.
Now, if you...
No. I went through the same thing, and they gave me, like, close to 6 figures.
Right. They gave me...
It's sad. It's fucking sad.
But what makes me mad, and this is why I'm saying what we're saying earlier about controlling your own destiny and things like that is, again, my intuition told me, I knew this is going to be the next... I know. Just like this, the movies that I got right now, all good scripts.
What was the name of the movie?
You remember the movie called Who's Your Caddy? It was a golf movie.
Who's Your Caddy?
Yeah, Who's Your Caddy?
Was that
with Big Boy and all of it was a comedy.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
That was my film.
Was that what was your name? What you title your name? Was that it?
Mine was called 18th Hole.
18th Hole.
Yeah, which we're still going to do now. We're still going to do. I'm still trying to get finance now. We're going to do it because it's all together different.
Yeah.
But went out there, and it's all records too. It's on record because I had one white guy was at the golf course with me. He typed it in and it popped up. I'd never even made mention of it before. Like, oh shoot, it's in records. But when it happens, when something like that happens to you, two things happen. You get angry, but then you get happy. Because the angry part is, excuse my language, but they fucked you over a lot of money. And that movie could have made me.
Yeah.
If they would have just did the movie with me.
What's the happy part?
It lets you know that you got good ideals, and no one.
Exactly.
And now when you have meetings, no one can tell you no.
I've been there.
See, when I go to a meeting now, just like my documentary, whatever. Oh man, I'll talk to you later, my man. Wait, what's wrong? Because I know what I got is good.
Hey, look, man, I've lived it. I don't want to get into it, man, but I just say it in one sentence. $1 Million Baby, best picture, best actor, best director, best supporting actor, whatever. Would have never been, we wouldn't even be talking about it if it wasn't for me.
Right.
And it was from the La Brea gym.
Wow.
I trained a girl there for years.
Right.
And I sent it to, because I was trying to save my marriage. I was spending too much time with her. You know the girl, Julie.
Yeah.
I sent it to my old trainer, Dub Huntley, and Jerry Boyd, because I had to try to save my marriage. Go there. They were so, Jerry Boyd was so blown away by her, how good she was.
Right.
That he wrote $1 Million Baby.
Wow.
And he was the Clint Eastwood character because he's a white guy.
Right.
He was a cut man. And Morgan Freeman was Dub Huntley, who had a detached retina.
Oh, okay.
Ex-fighter.
Right.
No, it's all documented.
Right.
It's all over, you
Right.
know. She was based, the real Maggie Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
And like you said, man, I said, okay, man, at least I know. It's a shame because Jerry died.
Okay.
Jerry died like when the premiere came out.
Right.
Unfortunately. Because I would eventually said to him, say, Jerry, give me some credit, man.
Right. At least
You
put
know,
my name.
you did it after a girl that I spent 10 years with.
Right.
And made her who she was. Like, at least say, you know, give me something, man.
Yeah.
And that was it. I mean,
see, I don't. So now, like I said, I don't. It doesn't upset. See, now when you have an understanding of where you are in this business and entertainment, and the main thing about entertainment, which I always tell people, the reason that it doesn't make me angry, even though I know I got talent and I know I have the personality and the talent to be a mega star, is because I don't want it bad enough where I'm going to compromise my own feelings and my own beliefs. So I'm not going to go out and do things that I know that I'm just not into. And by doing that also, I'm not going to allow you to come in and dick me over just so I can have some money in the bank. You know what I mean? Try to get over me. So when they stole that, when that happened, it was really a blessing because it was like, okay. And even the films I got now, I wrote a film during this pandemic that I've been wanting to write for years.
Yeah.
And we're cleaning it up, right? It's already getting cleaned up. I know it's a good project. So I have five screenplays ready to go right now. Like ready to go. Shoot. When I come to the table now, and I tell anybody that's in the industry, have your budget, have your business plan, have your wish list, all of that together. So because what they try to do, I got the synopsis, what they try to do is when you have these meetings, they always come back with these questions to get you out their face. Oh, great, this is a great treatment. Do you have the script? So you know they're going to eventually ask you for the script. So listen, kill that, write the script, have the synopsis or the treatment, have everything ready so that the most they can say is yes or no. Well, who do you want? Well, sir, it's in there. How much the budget? That's what I think it could be. But it might be more, maybe less. You know what I mean? Well, who you going to market it to? It's all in there. So now.
They actually have anybody attached?
On my films? No, I don't. And that's another bullshit thing that they do to you. Because this is what they tell you. Well, who you got attached? So if you got Eddie Murphy attached, we'll give you the money, right? So I go to Eddie Murphy and I go, Eddie, man, I got a film. Okay, how long will you do it? Well, do you have the finance for it? Well, no. Well, you get the finance for it, and I'll do it. Yeah. So they know. I don't blame the actor.
You got to get them attached before.
You got to get them weighed. It's almost got to be like you guys be at the bar and be like, yo, I got an idea for a film. Yeah, well, I'll play the part. You sure? Yeah. Sign this little napkin right here.
You got to get them drunk.
Sure, yeah. What's this, Because remember, you laughing, but it's true. Remember Kim Basinger? Yeah. About 20 years ago, she got sued for $10 million.
9.5 weeks.
Yeah, because she didn't want to do the movie after she said that she would do it.
Yeah.
So, but the game plan for a lot of these people, and it's different now because now there's a lot of different, because of the streaming, which again, are some of the good things about the streaming and other, now they you can't act but so tough now. Look, they just made Coming to America 2.
I heard about that.
Now, who would have ever thought that the pandemic would shut down theaters? So now Amazon buys it for $125 million. See what I'm saying? So that's not a bad deal. You don't know what the movie's going to make. The movie may make only 70, but you know the movie's going to make more. Why? Because you got Eddie Murphy in it, and $125 million, if you really think about it, ain't shit. Arsenio's in it. It ain't nothing when you compare it to the world seeing it, getting translated to Japan and Korean and British, Denmark, Switzerland, all these different languages, Italian. In America, if you got a film and you sell it, you put it on Amazon, you just put it on anything, you sell the film for $5. You know what I mean? $5. But you got 100 million people, over 200 million people in America, and say you got a fan base of 60 million. Think about it. So 125 ain't really a bad thing. So you got to ask it's like being in Vegas. You know what I mean? Do you want to cash out or do you want to take this bet? You know what? Cash me out. And whatever residuals I get. So that's what it does for
me. We got to do this again, man.
Okay, man.
But I got one last question. Hopefully it's the last one. We talked about Canelo against all the greats,
yes.
Like the old timers. All right, you got like a guy who would win. Just one fight, I'm gonna give you.
Okay.
What the hell? Floyd Mayweather, 47, right? Floyd Mayweather. I can say Ray Leonard, which is a good one, but I was gonna say there's so many of them. But at 47. Oh, Tommy Hearns. I wasn't even thinking, just think about those guys. Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard. I was thinking, Fredo Benitez. Who would win? I think Floyd would be 3 losses. I don't think he could hold up with those guys, but go ahead.
Let me tell you the fight I think he would have a shot at. Now it'd be Tommy Hearns. I'm going to tell you why. Because Tommy wasn't a great boxer.
47 though. Remember now.
I know.
Hearns was a sharpshooter.
Yeah,
man.
but that's what it was. He was, if he caught you, you know what I'm saying. I think Floyd would somewhat get rid of the. See, Tommy wasn't a combination fighter, in my eyes.
Yeah, he wasn't.
So if you can look out for the right hand, and Tommy, when he got into later rounds, his conditioning. Now the Ray Leonard fight when him and Ray fought, he really should have won that fight. I think that was a corner mistake. I think when they saw he was tired, you tell him, stay away, take these next 2 rounds off. I don't want you to do shit but move. I don't want you to throw a punch. Just get up out of there. Even if you give away the round, don't take no shots. Mm-hmm. We'll come back and get him in the 14th, or we'll come back and get him in the 15th. They didn't do that, and then he got caught. Remember, because he was hurt, and then he came back. Wolfo Benitez would have been a tough fight. Why? Because Benitez fought well off the ropes, and he threw combinations. So Floyd...
He was a great body puncher.
Oh, he was a great body puncher, but he was a hell of a defensive fighter off the ropes.
Yeah.
So the question is, when Floyd had came to him, Floyd never really had to fight. Floyd fought well off the ropes, but Floyd never had to fight anybody that was been laying on the rope. So I think that would have been a loss. The reason that I think Ray Leonard could have beat him, and probably would have beat him, because Ray Leonard was as quiet as kept, had knockout power, speed, and could stay in the cut. So when you're somebody that can throw 5, 10, 15 punches and be right there and solid, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Floyd, I told people this. There was only 2 fighters. Now I'm not counting the old school fighters. There was 2 fighters in this generation that I thought had a chance to beat Floyd. There was only 2.
This generation.
Now back. So I'm from the mid-90s up.
Who?
Shane Mosley, a young Shane.
Well, they fought, so.
But he didn't fight a young Shane Mosley.
Yeah, you got who else?
And Zab Judah.
Zab Judah, maybe.
I thought. And I'm going to tell you why. Because.
Well, he fought both of them, he beat them both.
He beat them both.
That's good managing.
No, but I'm saying, those were the only 2 fighters I ever thought, and he beat them both. But Zab, because Zab, to me, is the best 5-round fighter ever. You was in trouble in 5 rounds. Now, if you got Zab,
there's no credit for that, man.
There's no credit, but in terms of power, you asked me a question. You didn't ask me on who I think, but
no, but I didn't say who would win in a 5-round fight.
You didn't say that.
I know that. Then you said it.
I'm giving you my ideas of who I think. Yeah. But in terms of you saying
you
a fight,
say who would win a 1-round fight. That's more interesting.
Well, I could do that one. Okay, but let's put it this way. I would think out of the Tommy Hearns, Benitez, and Sugar Ray fight, I think Floyd wins one of those. Okay. One of those fighters. And I would probably, I could maybe give him Benitez, maybe. Because Benitez didn't have, he had knockout power, but he wasn't stinging knockout power. But when Benitez fought...
Man, if Benitez hit him with one of those overhand rights that he knocked out one dude out...
Benitez beat Duran?
Yeah, he beat Duran.
And that was a great fight. That was a great fight.
Benitez threw 1,000 body punches, and he's taller than Duran.
Yeah.
He was...
You know he's bad off now. He's like a vegetable almost.
Yeah.
From that damage. Wow. We
should talk about, some of the old time, where they are now, the ones who are unfortunate ones. Wow.
That's what's I think one of the things that might have saved Sugar Ray was the detached retina. Ray didn't take a lot of damage.
Well, he came back twice, and he got beat up twice. And,
but I'm going to tell you a story about Ray, though. He lost to who? He lost to Kevin Howard?
No, hold on. Before you tell me, I know what you're going to say.
What?
But there was one fighter I forgot to say who would beat Floyd at 47.
Oh.
It's the guy that knocked out Ray Leonard also in his prime.
Terry Norris?
Yeah.
I know my boxing, don't you?
Yeah,
that's why you like me, Phil, because I know what the hell you're thinking. That's why you like me. Who would ever thought? Nobody would know it. Terry Norris.
I know that.
Terry Norris in his prime.
Terry Norris would have knocked out, I think, Floyd, man.
Terry Norris.
Because he was too big.
He was stopping everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but guess what? Sugar Ray told me something one time.
He should have never fought Norris.
He should have never fought Norris.
So stupid, man.
But Ray said this. He said, every fight I lost, I knew I was going to lose it. He told me that. I was in a golf tournament with Ray before.
Yeah.
He said, and I think sometimes that wasn't in your body.
Lost, maybe, yeah. If you think
Terry Norris, man, that was the most. To me, that was more dangerous than when he lost to Kevin Howard. That was.
Well, you know why he said that? Because his mind wasn't into it. That's all.
It's like with Mike Tyson. Mike was like, this last couple fights, Mike was like, man, just can I get the check and go?
Well, I think Mike Tyson was one of the worst managed fighters ever.
I feel bad for Mike
because they should have never picked Kevin McBride. Big mistake. Because if his man is Kelly Finkel, Shelly Finkel. I blame him, I think, because he was managing him, I think, at the time.
When he came out of jail?
No, when his last fight against Kevin McBride.
Oh, you mean just the last
big white guy?
One? Oh, when he quit.
But someone's got to see him in the gym, training and talking to him, and see that his heart's not there anymore, right? He's not there. He's not the same old Tyson.
Yeah.
So you get him a softie.
Yeah.
People just want to see Tyson fight.
Hey, that's why it's kind of interesting with this fight here, though. Because if you notice, every clip we see of Mike, it's only a 15, 20-second clip.
Yeah.
So we ain't seen Mike sparring 2-3 rounds, 4 or 5 rounds.
You don't even see him sparring.
Right. So, does he get Roy, does he knock Roy out early, or does it go a couple distance, go some rounds? And like, I feel like right now, like
I want Jones to win. I want him to win only because I think the whole thing is pretty much a scam in a way.
Well, we know it's a hustle.
It's a joke. It's a hustle, whatever you want to call it. Not a hustle for Roy, because Roy knows he might be in a fight now, and Roy's training to really be ready. Tyson, smoking his weed, and he's just going to think that he could. No, he just could use it.
Oh, you fight? Oh,
no, he thinks that he could just go in there and there's a good chance he just overpower him.
Yeah.
And it'll be over. If he doesn't do it in 3-4 rounds, we'll see the quitting without a doubt in Tyson again.
Yeah.
They're banking on him knocking Roy out in one round real quick, right? Which is possible. And then who he's going to fight next,
Holyfield.
Right? No way.
Not Lennox.
Believe it or not, he's going to fight Anthony Joshua in an exhibition.
Wow.
And that's going to be globally, like, huge because, Anthony Joshua.
I think he got a better chance with Tyson Fury. Joshua really got...
No, he has a better chance with Joshua.
You think so?
Absolutely, because if he hits Joshua, he'll knock him out.
Yeah, okay.
Even a 54-year-old guy, because that's what people are going to think.
Right.
Especially if he knocks out Roy Jones that fast. And that fight, it will be. They'll sanction it too. Mm-hmm. They'll sanction it for the champ. Tyson could win a heavyweight championship of the world at 55 years old.
Wow.
Why not?
Yeah. Can I ask you one last question?
That's why I think it's all bullshit.
What are your feelings on? I know you people got to go. What are your feelings on Deontay Wilder? That's my guy, but what do you think now where he's at mentally, physically? What do you think is going to happen with him now? Because I think he should have.
Hold on. I know Deontay personally.
Right.
I trained him a little bit in the gym. I brought him when I was training Audley Harrison.
Okay.
We brought Deontay in as a sparring partner.
Okay.
I used to pick him up at the hotel he was in every day and bring him to my gym.
Right.
And held the mitts with him, watched him. What I thought was so effective with him was his speed.
Right.
And he doesn't throw anything straight. So I said, wow, that's why you're going to knock everybody out.
Because they don't see the shots coming.
They don't see it coming. Because when I was holding the mitts, I said, whoa.
Yeah.
His right hand actually, like that, like, whoa.
Like a curveball.
You don't see it.
Right.
And, but when he fights a real, real good fighter, that might not work, man, okay? So I think that your question is what do I think of him?
Like what do you think about how's he going to? Do you think he can come back from what that's what I should say? I guess because that was a tough loss.
I think he would have came back by now if he really wanted it.
Right.
He would have came back before the pandemic.
Right.
Because he had that the chance to do it. I think that. How serious is that bang?
Right.
Supposedly, like he got a dent in his head.
Yeah.
I don't know if that picture was like fake or whatever, man, but like that alone can make you like not want to fight because your life's on the line now. If you get hit there again, all the life he's living now, he might just want to do it just for the money grab. Like what the hell?
I think he should. If he doesn't want to do it, this is what I say: take a fight of a contender that's not a contender. And then get up out the game.
Well, it might happen.
I mean, I don't see many guys that can get him.
I don't think he'll do it. He might.
You think he might fight again?
He might do what you just said too.
Yeah.
I didn't think he would, but now that Tyson Fury is moving on to fight somebody else,
right?
That kind of makes him not look bad having a tune-up.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he should get a tune-up. I always felt he fought wrong, and that was my only problem. At 6'7", with the power you have.
Did you see the gloves though? The controversial gloves.
Yeah.
Now, did you see that video? Did you see that video? Where
yeah, when
like
he was hitting more hand.
Yeah, like the glove was. Look, if I'm going to fight you, I take the glove and I just put I can smack you with that hand. And so I'm getting way much more of a reach.
Do you believe the picture, or do you think it was Photoshop? That's the whole thing. I know what you're saying.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible, man. All you got to do is slide your hand out of the glove, man.
Well, because really before a fight, the gloves are supposed to be checked. Even after you're in the ring, the referee should be able to come up. Is supposed to come up and check it.
I know that, but you can still slide your hand up. You know what I'm talking about? Where
no.
Your hands,
when you
so
got
you're
the glove,
smacking, you're smacking.
That's there, but you are the solid.
When you're inside or whatever, you're doing this now.
Yeah.
That part, like boom, right in the guy.
But this part here is actually that part there. So the gloves looks like
it's even worse.
Right. The glove looks like it's on, but you're actually punching them with your
from like the inside of your glove, but you're hitting them with this.
Right.
Even the smacks, it looks like, because it'll say it won't look that effective because it looks like a slap.
Okay.
But yet, no, the gloves, there's nothing there.
I don't know. I know Deontay and
after saying that, I questioned that.
Okay.
But
I like him. He's always shown me respect when we see each other. We speak.
Oh yeah. But
so he's a good dude. So, hey, whatever he wants to do, hey, I think right now the heavyweight division is still open, but
Tyson Fury, Joshua would be the number.
That's the money fight.
That's the money fight. That's all that matters. I don't know who else is there, man. Who cares?
Yeah.
We need another Rocky or something, man.
Yeah, we do.
Is there a white heavyweight somewhere in there?
There have been one in a while. White heavyweights do well up to like this 18th or 19th fight.
No, but Tommy Morrison was tough.
Tommy was tough, but Tommy didn't. Unfortunately, he's passed, so God rest his soul. But, like again.
I mean, we could talk forever, man.
Man. That dedication, man. That dedication. That's what it's about.
Well, Dannon, man, it was great having you here. Even greater seeing you and catching up, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Phil, it's great.
We got to do it again, man.
Oh, man, I would love to, man.
Even if we just talk boxing, we get a couple of boxing people, and we just
we
end up having a war.
Right. Yeah. We can us two against them too. We can get them. No, I appreciate it, man. It's good seeing you again, man. I appreciate being on your podcast, and I really appreciate the fan base that have been following me over the years. Please look out for my documentary, The Executioners. We all had a chance. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a deal soon, and I think it's an excellent story. I think what you've done, I also want to commend you, man, because not many people know that, especially in LA, there weren't a lot of boxing gyms back in the early 90s.
Two or three.
I mean? Yeah, and you had one of them, and so a lot of people branched out actually. So, but for you to still be in the game and surviving, man, because it's all about your client. That tells a lot about yourself. So I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. God bless you, man.
Same to you, brother, man.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. See you guys next time.